Hello everybody. Today I'm going to share with you a very interesting card trick. It is interesting because the way it is presented in front of the spectators is very interesting, and it generates a curiosity, and the end result is utterly surprising. I have been performing this for quite some time, and I have fooled even magicians with this beautiful piece of card magic. So stay with me, don't skip the video. And don't forget to subscribe my channel if you haven't already subscribed. Please share this video with your friends if you like it. Smash the like button and write in the comments if you have any questions. This is a creation of Roy Walton. So without further ado, let me perform this trick for you first, and then I'll explain you how to do it. Do you know, magicians created computers long before the computers which you see today came into being? Yes, that is the truth. And the computers that magicians created didn't require any source of energy like electrical energy or batteries, nothing at all. It worked with the help of brain waves. And there were no gadgets also. It was only a deck of cards. Now, I'll show you what I mean by that. See, I got a deck of cards, and in a moment, I'll be using these cards just like a computer. But we don't call it a computer, we call a card-puter. Card-puter. Interesting, isn't it? So, can you just help me, please? Yes. Here is a deck of cards, as you can see, and I'm going to deal cards into two piles, like so. Now, you have an absolutely free choice of choosing any one of these two piles. Which one do you like? Absolutely free choice. You can change your mind if you want to. Which one do you like? This one? All right. Now, what you do, you just look into the cards and choose one. Let us assume that the spectators chooses the 9 of diamonds. All right. Now, the magician has absolutely no idea as to which card he has chosen. Now, after the spectator has chosen the card, you put them together, and then you say that, all right, now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do something very special. I'm going to put a program into this computer. Now, so saying, what you do, you say that what happens, when you feed in any wrong information in a computer, what you expect from a computer? A wrong output. But since this is a magical computer, even if you feed a wrong information into the computer, it will always give you the right answer. And that is the power of card-puter, or the magical computer. Let me show you how you feed on information. For example, if you ask the computer, am I the best magician in the world? What is the answer? No. Now, in order to feed no, you spell N-O, like so. And that is how the information is fed into this computer. There is no keyboard, no mouse, nothing like that. So, whatever the answer is, you have to spell it. Very simple. Now, let me get into the main thing. That means whatever you are thinking in your mind, the very card you are thinking in your mind. I have absolutely no idea, but I believe that the computer will always give the right answer, even if the feeding in the informations are wrong. For example, what is the color of your card, red or black? Now, in this case, the card was 9 of diamonds. It is a red card. So the spectator says red. You say, all right, now the right answer is red, but I'm going to feed a wrong answer intentionally. So saying, you Spell B-L-A-C-K, black. Now, the next question is whether it is a spot card or a court card. Now, 9 of diamonds is a spot card. So, your spectator says it is a spot card. You say, oh, well, it is a spot card, but we are going to feed wrong information. We will spell court card. C-O-U-R-T, court card. And finally, the last question is whether it was an even card or an odd card, odd or even card. Now, 9 of diamonds is an odd card because 9 is an odd number. So he says that it is an odd card. Remember, Jack is 11, Queens are 12, and Kings are 13. So he says odd. You then tell him that, well, the right answer is odd, but we are going to feed in the wrong answer, wrong information. So we'll spell even, E-V-E-N. Now, what we have done so far is we have fed the cardputer or the magical computer all the wrong informations. But since it works with magic, the source of its knowledge is the magical source, it will always give the right answer. So saying, you say the output is on top. Tell me what is the name of your card. He will say 9 of diamonds, and you turn it over and show that it has indeed given the right answer, the 9 of diamonds. I hope you enjoyed the trick. The presentation is so interesting and so funny that it will always engage your audience. I hope you will agree with me. Now for this trick, what you need only a deck of cards and nothing else. And believe me, it is very easy to perform. It requires a small setup, a setup of 10 cards. Let me show you the setup. If you want, you can pause the video at any point of time and look at the setup, and it is very important. The setup is very, very important. So I have taken out the 10 cards that are required to set it up. So the first card is the Queen of Diamonds. Queen of Diamonds. The second card, Queen of Hearts. Third card is Jack of Hearts. King of Hearts. 7 of Hearts. 9 of Diamonds. Queen of Clubs. Queen of Spades. 10 of Spades. And 4 of Clubs. So, you take a very closer look of this. Queen of Diamonds, Queen of Hearts, Jack of Hearts, King of Hearts, 7 of Hearts, 9 of Diamonds, Queen of Clubs, Queen of Spades, 10 of Spades, and 4 of Clubs. Now, this is the setup. What you can do is, you can use other cards as well, provided the color and the value are same. For example, instead of 4 of Clubs, you can put here 4 of Spades. But this is the setup I always follow. Now, this set of 10 cards remains on top of the deck when the deck is facing down. Remember, the top card is the Queen of Diamonds, which is the top card when the deck is facing down. Now, you take it out from the tuck case and casually give it a false shuffle. Now, this is a genuine shuffle, but the shuffle is such that the top 10 cards are not disturbed in any way. See, I'm shuffling the cards, peeling off cards like so, and when I'm reaching almost towards the top of the deck, what I'm doing is, instead of putting these cards here, I'm putting these cards back on top. As a result, the top 10 cards remains undisturbed. So you do it very casually. Don't say that I'm shuffling the cards. If you say that, the spectators might want to shuffle it themselves. Then this is not going to work. So you are shuffling the cards like so. And then when you are reaching towards the top, you just put them back on top. Now this you do as you were talking about a card pewter. That is not a computer, card pewter. A computer with playing cards, magical computer. You can even give some false cuts if you know some false cuts. There are many videos on my channel detailing false cuts. Even if you want, you can visit other channels where there are tutorials on false cuts and false shuffles. The idea is that the top 10 cards should not be disturbed. Now, after the card has been shuffled like this by you, you have to deal 10 cards into 2 equal piles. That means each pile should contain 5 cards. As if you are playing cards with somebody, you have to deal one at a time. So the first card goes here, second card goes here, this is a third, this is a fourth, and this is the fifth card. Now, as you can see, I have dealt the top 10 cards, the setup cards, into 2 piles, each pile containing 5 cards. Now, as you are talking, what you do, you secretly take a break under the top 2 cards. It is very easy. You just push 2 cards forward and then bring them back and maintain a break with your little finger. So here is a break. That means there is a gap between the top 2 cards and the rest of the cards. So let me show you once again. Here are the 2 piles that I have created. I turn my hand towards myself and take a break secretly, and then you say that you choose any one of the piles. Let us assume that the spectator says this pile. So you take this pile and you spread them with your single hand like so. You just spread them and say that choose any one of these cards. Now let us assume that the spectator chooses this one, the 10 of spades. So you say, have you mentally selected a card? He says yes. You put these cards on top of the other pile, take the pile and put them on top of the deck, and these cards should not be very neatly squared. It is a little mess, you know. You immediately take them up, but what you do actually, you pick up all the cards above the break that you have taken. That means you are secretly adding the top 2 cards under the bottom of these 10 cards. So you pick these cards up from here and put away the remaining cards and say that, you know, what happens in a computer, you feed in information with the help of a keyboard or a mouse. But we don't have a keyboard or a mouse here. So how do we do that? Now what you are doing is, I'm still maintaining the break under the bottom 2 cards. Above the bottom 2 cards, and here are the 10 setup cards. So when you pick them up from here, you maintain the break, or if the break is gone for some reason, what you can do, you can count 2 cards secretly, like so. You are holding the cards like so, and you just count 2 cards, and again make a break above the bottom 2 cards. You say, how do we feed? Now, for example, if I ask the computer, am I the best magician in the world? The answer is no. So how do we feed no? So we'll spell no, N-O, like so. So saying, what you do, you pick up all the cards above the break, these cards, and put them on top, and you do it very casually, and these remaining 2 cards also goes on top of it. That is very simple. And this should be done very casually. Then you say that now, what happens, you know, in a magical computer, even if you feed in wrong informations, it will always come out with the right answer. That is the power of magic, because it works with magic and it works with the magical power. So saying, you say that, what is the card? Now, don't forget, the card was a 10 of spades in this case. So you ask him what is the color of the card. Is it a red or a black? Now he will say the color is black because it is 10 of spades. You say, since the answer is black, we are intentionally going to put a wrong answer. That means we'll feed in red, R-E-D, and put these cards on top. Now the next question is whether the card was a spot card or a number card. Now 10 of spades is a spot card. So you will say spot card. You say that I'll intentionally put a wrong answer. We'll feed in quote card. C-O-U-R-T. Put these cards on top. And finally, you ask the last question, and that is whether it was an even card or an odd card. Now 10 of spades is an even card. 10 is even. Now at this time you can tell him, you have to tell him that Jack is 11, Queens are 12, and Kings are 13. So whether your card was an odd card or an even card, you will say even card. You say, well, I will put the wrong answer, odd, O-D-D, and put these cards on top. And then you say that the power of the magical computer. I have fed all the wrong informations that I could in this, but it will always come out with the right answer. And the right answer is right at the top of this pile. Now, tell me, what was your card? You will say 10 of spades. You pick up the top card and show that it is indeed their selected 10 of spades. Awesome. Fantastic magical effect. So, give it a try and amaze your friends with this presentation. The presentation is very engaging, as you have already seen. So, entertain your spectators with this amazing trick. Stay with me. See you again next time in the next video. Until then,